Brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to Book Review. In the past episode, we were talking about a very interesting book, The Music Made Me Do It. Is music harmful? Why is it harmful? Can we live without music? What is the reason why we should leave music? This and more, the author, Dr. Johar Mushtaq, is discussing in his very interesting book. With us this time, and alhamdulillah, with us was the last time Brother Mustafa Moore, the very interesting guest that we always are happy to have with us here in Huda TV. Brother Mustafa, Jazakallahu khairan, thank you for being with us for the second time. Alhamdulillah. Brother, we stopped the last episode at chapter 5. We talked about the first 4 chapters, music from the Sharia point of view, scientific research about the effects of music on the body, and we talked about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and lastly we talked about music made me do it, and that was the heart of the book. Then the author moves on to position of the companions and the 4 imams and other scholars regarding the music issue. Just give us a general summary of the first 4 chapters, and then we move on to the next chapter, which is chapter 5, inshallah.
Okay, the brother, mashallah, may Allah reward him for his good work. He starts off the book with a question: is music haram? And he addressed one of the interesting ways that he goes about asking this question. He says there's 3 questions that most shuyukh are asked. One is the hijab permissible?
The music?
No, the hijab. You know,
They talk about the hijab.
Yeah, the hijab. He was just saying, like, frequently asked questions. Is the hijab permissible? Is music permissible? And the last one slips me, but I remember
it's right. But like in the first 4 chapters, he first talks about the Sharia point of view, and then he moves on to the effects of the music on the body, and the relationship between music and sex and drugs and rock and roll, and music made me do it. I think the last chapter, chapter 4, you had a lot to say about it the last time. Just give us a summary.
Okay, the music made me do it. It's almost poetry. You know, it's a very clear statement. You know, like myself, you know, unfortunately, music. I've seen a lot of bad things. When I was in America, of course, before I was a Muslim, one of my favorite places to go was the club. Now, of course, you know, they not only do they play music, they play the up-to-date music, and they play it at an incredibly loud. Oh, it's now that I think about it, it's like maddening, you know.
It's crazy.
And actually, that's the target, you know. So they feed you this alcohol. They have cigarettes for you, and you know. Some people, they do drugs, and you know, they smoke things, and you know, all of these things are, you know, and whether you're doing them or not, you're affected by the atmosphere. So you yourself are intoxicated through this atmosphere, okay? And you know, you know, like I was a part of the rap regime, you know, so I'm listening to all of this, but all of this insane music, and you know, like, even though alhamdulillah for them, the things couldn't be done, you know, because they talk about so much drugs, so much sex also, but a lot of killing, you know. And yeah,
it's very linked to killing. All the video clips, they show the singer while he's shooting somebody, and I remember I used to see that.
Yeah, you know, and the sad thing is, a lot of these guys probably have never held the gun. Yeah,
Okay, let's move on to chapter 5, position of the companions and the four imams,
Okay.
and other Islamic scholars.
Okay.
What do you have to say on this?
He really did a good job
Okay.
talking about the companions. Everything that he said, he went with the hadith. He didn't stop at the companions alone. He went to the tabi'een and the tabi'een. He used hadiths about.
It's all right. You shouldn't quote the hadith, but this is the sequence he went through. He just said he mentioned the hadith, and then he mentioned the sayings of the companions and the tabi'een and tabi'in.
Oh yes, he did it very professionally.
Okay.
He didn't just like say one hadith here and one hadith there. You know, he went down the line and he used the isnad.
Okay. Okay, and he mentioned also the four imams' point of view and the other Islamic scholars.
Oh yes.
Okay, chapter 6, he talks about the critical analysis of arguments used or a manner of consensus in Islam, right?
Oh, yes.
What does he mean by that?
Well, there's people. He mentions the hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said that there will be a time where people. He said two. He said one that I'm familiar with and one that I wasn't.
Okay. Just tell us the one you're familiar with.
Okay. No. I mean, I know it now.
Okay.
But I mean, I wasn't familiar with it before.
Just tell us both of them.
Yes. The two hadiths. The one, the Prophet ﷺ. He was talking about.
You forgot it. It's all right. It's okay.
But I know.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
He was talking about there will come a time where the people will say that these four things are permissible. He said pre-sexual marriage, wearing of silk,
okay,
music, and I'm not exactly sure.
You said the most important one, which is music, and the hadith is in Bukhari. It's very well known.
Yes.
Regarding this hadith, he expands on that, and he says that this is one of the very important proofs of that the scholars have on
the impermissibility
of music.
Yes.
Having said that, we want to talk about the pop culture in the name of Islam. This is a very important part in this chapter.
Yes.
I'd like you to talk about it a little bit.
Well, unfortunately, the glamour, the glitter of rap music is reaching the unfortunate Muslims. The ones who are looking for something. Even though that they have the truth, within their reach, but they're tired of Islam. I don't. This is what I hear. But I don't see how. But I mean, I don't know. When I see, like children ask me all the time about rap music. I'm like, wow, man. You guys, grew up listening to Quran all day and all night. You're worried about rap music. You're worrying about a fantasy that could never possibly happen when you've got the truth in your hand. It's scary. I mean, the children are, and this was something else that they mentioned, how they're willing to exchange falsehood for the truth. They'll give up the truth for falsehood. And this is
that's true. Unfortunately, that's true.
Yeah, it's sad actually.
We want to move on to chapter 7, where he talks about the music and society.
Oh yes.
What does he mean by that, and what does he include in this chapter?
Music and society is one of the most dangerous places for it to be. And I'm like walking proof of that, I mean, not now, but I mean, I was before, and unfortunately in the beginning of my Islam, I carried it over into Islam. But I mean, I didn't stick with it.
How did you carry it over to Islam?
Well, like I've got such a rich history of music in my mind, you know.
Rich.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not that it's good, but it's very rich because I mean, you know, I have been listening to music like when the pop music and the soul music first began to get popular, I was there. Okay, when the rap music first began, I was there. You know, so I was there for the whole history of rap up until, like, you know, till it reached its pinnacle with Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur. I was there. You know, so I mean, I've got a long history of music. So whenever I would hear a situation like, if the situation were sad, I would tie it to music. If the situation were funny, I would tie it to music. If the situation was scary, I would tie it to music. Either music or a movie. You know, like it's like that's how I was, you know, basing my life, because unfortunately I didn't have the truth. I didn't have Al-Islam, and I was looking for the truth, you know, but, you know, like I'm looking in all the wrong places, you know, because no one ever told me that these places were wrong, you know. And I believe this is how it's affecting the children now. No one's telling them, hey, don't do this. Don't listen to this, you know, listen to this, you know. They're just like, you know, all right, they're go left. For it, whatever you're, you know, whatever you like, you know. I mean, if you like, you know, Christina Aguilera, I'll get you all of her CDs, you know. I mean, and they have to try to find the truth, you know. So I mean,
and also I think learning English for the Muslim youth being an essential. I think this has a role in this.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, I was told the opposite. You know, because, you know, I came here to learn Arabic, you know, and, you know, some people told me, they said, if you want to learn Arabic, you should listen to music. I'm like, well, I can't do that, you know. I mean, no matter how much I'd love to learn Arabic, you know, I can't listen to music to do it, you know. But I mean, but this is the same thing that they're told. If they want to learn English, and they're also told to watch movies. You know, so these children, you know, I mean, you know, one good thing about here, even though the movies are bad, they cut the worst of the movie out. You know, they don't allow these children to see the sex scenes and maybe like alcohol scenes, and, you know, when the man and the woman alone, and, you know, a lot of these things they take out of the movie.
Anyways, it affects them negatively, whether they do that or not. We will just take a break, and after the break we'll continue talking about the next chapter. Brothers and sisters, we will take a short break and we will be right back, so stay tuned to Book Review. Welcome back to Book Review. Our book for today, The Music Made Me Do It. We're talking about chapter 7 in the book, and with us is Brother Mustafa Moore, who's reviewing this book with us. Brother Mustafa, welcome back.
Thank you.
Brother Mustafa, we stopped at chapter 7,
Okay.
Music and Society.
Yes.
Let's continue talking about that, an interesting chapter.
Okay, yes.
You were talking about the effect of music on children.
Yes, yes.
Let's link that to the whole society. How can music affect, as you said, it affects children, and unfortunately Muslim youth, Muslim children are totally linked to music through, you said before the break, through learning English and through being affected by the movies and by the Western culture.
Yeah.
Let's expand on that and see the link between that and the whole society. How does music affect the whole society, just like as the author is talking in this chapter?
Okay, it can be broken down to very extensively. It's a very wide range. Okay, to the point to where when you walk into a grocery store, they know how they use psychiatrists, you know, to find the right kind of music to make you buy things. Okay, so you walk into the store maybe with milk and cheese on your mind, but you walk into the store, you know, you're hearing the music, you're like, hey, they got bread for sale. But you
Okay,
know,
I get your point. I
yeah,
get your
yeah.
point.
So I mean, you know, this is one part. A lot of it, it's almost subliminal. You, like, I personally, I don't watch movies, but what,
Alhamdulillah. And don't
alhamdulillah,
listen to music as well. Now,
no,
alhamdulillah.
no, I haven't listened to music for years, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
But I remember in movies, and I know that it's still going on now.
So it's business. You mean it's business?
Oh, it's a very profitable business. Yes, yes. Why do you think Michael Jackson was so rich? You know, I mean, you know, inshallah, he was Muslim before he died. Allahu alam, but you know, you know, we hope for the best. You know.
Yeah, we hope for him.
But the music industry in America is multi-million dollar industry. It's really ridiculous. These rappers and singers, they live lifestyles that most people only dream of. You know, with several homes around the country, and most of them don't go outside of the country. But they have the homes and they have the supercars, several cars. I remember I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy, but his name was MC Hammer.
I think I heard of him.
Yeah, yeah, he was pretty famous, but he had like over like 250 cars.
Oh my God!
What can you do with over 250 cars? You're one person. Even if you had a family of 12, 250 cars, that's ridiculous. You know. So you know, the lifestyle that they lead because of this rich industry. You know, it's a problem. It's a problem because when and it affects the children also, because when the children sees
the way they're living.
Yes, you know, like, you know, this guy has got a ring that costs more than your house, a watch, you know, watch that costs more than your, you know, house and car together. You know, so you know, why? Well, why not? Why couldn't I be like this? You know, so the children desire to be this person. They want to be the singer. And I mean, I know in America it's bad, you know, like everywhere you go, you know, you've got people rapping and stuff like this, and Allah talks about this. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. I found it in the book. He was talking about the idle talk that the people do, you know, and it's taking them away from the dhikr of Allah. So, you know, you've got, you know, people rapping all day from the morning until the night, but they never say Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's true.
You know, that's horrible. And you know, like, you know, even here, unfortunately, you know, but not as much. And alhamdulillah, you know, it's nowhere near anything like that, because, you know, these children, they don't rap, you know, they don't rap like that. But
they're affected, but not as much.
Yes, they're affected.
But not as much.
Yeah, I've seen myself personally, and especially while I was reading the book, subhanallah, I'm listening and I'm hearing children singing songs.
While you're reading?
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, while during the time that I'm reading the book, maybe it's always been going on, but I'm more conscious of it because of the book, because I'm paying more attention now, you know, and I'm thinking like, wow, you know, this child could be. Are you putting this much energy into the Quran? Are you putting are you reciting this ayah over and over and over to put it inside your heart, which is where it needs to be to protect you from this fire? You know.
Unfortunately, they're not.
No.
Let's move on to the last chapter of the book, chapter 8. It's never too late. He talks about inspiring stories from history.
Oh yes, yes.
Do you remember any of these stories?
He wasn't really going on history so much.
Okay.
He was talking more like personal. There were people in the book, maybe people that he interviewed personally. Maybe someone like me,
Okay.
you know,
you gave us your story already.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I mean, I'm just saying, you know, like it's people that he's come across in his life, or maybe he read about, you know what I'm saying, you know. So it's not like, you know, like history, you know.
I get your point.
Yeah.
I would like you to just give me your impression at the end of this, after reading this book. How do you feel about it? How do you feel it changed? What point I know it didn't change you because you already know, or you already,
No, no,
alhamdulillah,
no,
took
no,
that
no, no, no,
step
no.
and you're away from music, alhamdulillah.
Ah, yes,
But I
alhamdulillah.
mean, like, what is the effect, what effect did this book have on you?
But yes, the book had a very, very positive effect on me. For one thing, like I said, I'm hearing people singing now. You know, not that like not that they have never been singing around me, but they are singing. You know,
But you got used to it.
yeah, I guess it was something like I hear it and I don't.
You got
hear it.
used to not doing that, but watching others do it, and that's it. That's the way it is.
And another thing, especially
So the book reminded you of this feeling that you just like you're not doing it and you hate others is doing it as well.
yes, yes,
Okay.
and it brought up that feeling of hate for that, not for the people.
No, for that, for the act,
Exactly.
for listening to music.
Exactly. And I remember the hadith, the Prophet alayhi salam, he said, if you see something that's not good, you change it with your hands. And if you can't change it with your hands, you change it with your mouth. And if you can't change it with your mouth, you hate it in your heart. And that's the weakest of the iman. Okay. So, subhanAllah, you know, I'm not totally sure how I can change it with my hands exactly. But one thing the brother says it in the book, he said, the brother, mashallah, he's very smart. He said that he's changing it with his hands by writing the book.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah, he's right. So mashallah, you know. So what I found myself doing, and I mean like maybe it's unconsciously, but when I'm hearing these brothers singing and these children singing, you know, like I tell the children, you know, Quran is better. You know, you use that energy for the Quran. And I got into a debate with one of the brothers that I know today. It was today. I was telling them about singing and like how it's not good, and I mean because of the book, the brother is because I mean this is dawah, and we need to reinforce ourselves with positive dawah and so we can combat these situations. But I mean alhamdulillah, the brother he reading this information gave me the oomph. We say in America the oomph. To take it to these brothers, man, and try and not that I want to be like, oh, I'm the smart man or anything like that. It's got nothing to do with that. I want to help this man because he's Muslim like I am, and I told him, I said, look, I'm telling you this because, and I seek Allah's refuge from this. If I should ever fall off from what I'm doing, I would hope that you would tell me the same thing.
MashaAllah, great point. You said when we were talking during this episode that you had a long history with music. What advice can you give a person who has a hard time leaving music?
If this person has a sincere desire to leave music, and he's having a problem with reoccurring music, like in his mind or something like that, every time you hear that music in your mind, dhikr Rabbana, okay? Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah. Put these things in your mind. Put these things in your heart. Because with these things in your heart, this is going to bring about the success. And the shaitan won't be able to overpower you with the music. Because it's amazing because I know because it can start with one word. You can hear somebody say one word, and then you're like, oh man, that's just like that song, So it could start a chain, but you break that chain, and you break it with the names of Allah. And there's another one. There's another one you can say, La ilaha illallahu wahdahu la sharika lah, lahu mulku wa lahu hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. Okay, and the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, if you say that 10 times, you get the same reward as freeing a slave.
Yeah, that's true.
If you say it 100 times a day, there's no reward better than it, except that someone says it more than that.
That's true.
Okay?
Yeah,
so mashallah, we learn the love of the Prophet alayhi salam through du'as like this and learning about this deen. So if this person wants to leave this music, I would advise him to pick up a book. Pick up a book and learn more about their deen. Learn why you shouldn't do these things. Learn like this book. I would recommend it to anyone. You know, whether it's someone new trying to learn about Islam, or someone new trying to understand why they shouldn't sing, or you know, maybe a kafir that loves singing, maybe a singer. Give it to a singer, you know, and try to help these people, because, you know, no one stands alone. You know, we you know, that's the beauty of Al-Islam. We're all in this together, and we're brothers together, and the sisters, they're sisters together, you know, and we need to help each other. Like the Prophet ﷺ said, the reminder benefits the believer. Okay, so if we remind these people, they're believers, inshallah, it'll be a benefit for them.
Exactly. Brother Mustafa Moore, at the end of this episode, I would like to thank you, Jazakallahu khairan, for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Allah barik feek.
Brothers and sisters in Islam, at the end of this interesting and amazing episode of Book Review, I would like to thank you for watching us. Until the next episode, I leave you in the care of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.